Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear sons and daughters of planet Earth, I am Sananda. Every time I can be here, talking a little more, giving more teachings, it is a moment of pure joy for me. It is a moment of total ecstasy, where I can be sure that my mission is being fully accomplished. With each message I leave here, I leave my energy imbued in the message, in the words that are said. Many still do not feel able to feel the energy of the being of light that is speaking. So today, I'm going to talk a little about this. When we say our energy, what does this mean? Each one of you, each human being, or each being in this universe, vibrates at a frequency, vibrates within the frequency of love and the frequency corresponding to your thoughts, your walk, your attitudes, what you do with your body. The sum of all these points generates an energy value that can be low or high. Vibrating low does not mean it is vibrating evil. Vibrating low means vibrating at a very bad level of energy, which is similar to the vibration of evil. You are much more susceptible to the influence of evil. It becomes much more susceptible to the influence of diseases. It becomes much more susceptible to depressions, emotional crises. This is all because you are vibrating low. You are vibrating in a dangerous range. This is vibrating low. And what makes you vibrate low are exactly your thoughts, your words, your beliefs, your attitudes. So realize that it is a vicious cycle, in which you have bad thoughts, you vibrate low, and because it vibrates low, it has more bad thoughts. So the idea is that you always try to vibrate high, always try to have good thoughts, good attitudes, eating as healthy as possible. All of this leads to a balance, leads to vibrating high. So the sum of all that you do, think, talk, eat, shows who you are. It's like an energetic signature. No one has the same value as another, because it is not a simple value. All of this is stored in the aura, which is this energy field that you have beyond your body. So at that moment your aura may be vibrant, you may have a high vibration, but have dark points in your aura, because there are points that need to be treated. So this is the vibrational and energetic signature of each of you. Does it change? It changes in visual terms, because it's as if. We're not going to talk about fixed values. Here, everything is vibrational bands. So even if you have those points in your aura, your vibrational range will always be the same. As long as you maintain a balanced conduct, you start to vibrate in a range constantly. So this becomes your energetic signature. Does this signature change? It changes, because you can vibrate in higher and lower ranges. Everything will depend on this set that I mentioned. So each of you vibrates in a range, and this range varies, according to your experience. And so it is with all incarnated beings in the universe, who are subject to all sorts of problems, especially those who are in low dimensions, like you. Because when the dimensions begin to rise, your vibrational range begins to decrease and practically becomes invariable, because there are no longer any feelings that cause this range to fluctuate. So this is where beings reach stages of complete enlightenment. This example applies to all beings of high dimensions, to ascended masters, to those beings that are pure energy. There is no frequency oscillation in that being anymore, because the dimension in which they are, no longer fits this fact no longer happens. And then yes, when a being or a soul reaches this point, it has an energetic signature, which is recognized anywhere in the universe. There is no variation. So it's as if you started to receive an energetic identity, in which any point you reach in the universe is recognized, because it no longer varies. So that's what I want to explain, when we say that our energy imbues each word with a message. If someone has a device that can measure the energy of each message, they will see that messages from the same light entity will always have practically the same frequency. The variations that will occur depend on the energy of the channel, because in fact, our energy mixes with the energy of the channel, because it is not dead. So it also vibrates, and as it vibrates, it oscillates, so our frequency ends up not being perfectly stable. But we can guarantee you that it will always be in one lane. We won't be vibrating one day in A1 range and the next day in A6 range, so that's not us. So when we say that you need to learn to recognize our energy, it is at this point, because it is practically immutable. Yes, it varies, but it is a small variation. I don't have the same energy that Miguel has, that Maria has. Each of us vibrates in a range and has our own energetic identity. It is up to you to recognize this identity, so that you never make a mistake and effectively know who is there, whether that message was distorted, modified, contaminated, or not. And how do you learn to do this? There are no rules. I don't have a recipe. Yes, it has the heart. He is the one who will say whether whoever is there is who they say they are. So learn to recognize our energy, listen to the message with your heart. And what does it mean to hear the message with the heart? It means focusing only on what is being said, not focusing on whether there are errors in the language being said, not focusing on whether the voice is good or bad, not focusing on whether there is noise in the background or not. The focus has to be on the message, on what is being said. It's recording every word that is being said there as truth. This is listening with the heart. If you enter this trance of listening to the message with your heart and at the same time place the palm of your hand over your heart, at the height of your heart, you will feel a vibration, and you will learn to recognize the difference between one vibration and another. Do the experiment. But don't come here later and say you didn't feel anything. Because while you do it, with that thought deep down, now I'm going to know for sure if it is or isn't. He finished. You just judge, you made a judgment before you even tried it. So don't even try, because you won't achieve anything. Everything has to be done not in a planned way, nor in a programmed way, everything has to be done with a lot of love, with a lot of dedication. So, let yourself be carried away by the words, as if it were a lullaby, not listening to the video or audio doing other things. You can do this, but you will never know if what you are hearing is true or not. Because you are not centered there, you are just listening, it is not being fully bathed by the energy that is there. So if you want to effectively harness the energy of the being who speaks, choose a moment in which you can go within, ground yourself with Gaia, connect to the heights, to God the Father or Mother, the Source, as you wish, fill your heart with light, then yes, you can start listening to that energy and you will certainly absorb much more. And each of you, when you place your hand over your heart, will feel a vibration. Try to mentalize the vibration and start doing the test, not the test of doubt, but the test of difference. What is my energy like? What's Miguel's like? What's Mariah's like? What is it like for an ascended master? What's Commander Ashta like? Start making this difference, feel with your heart. And you will learn this way every time you hear something, whether or not you recognize the energy of the being that is speaking there. Many will find this very complex, very difficult. So I have to say the following: everything that is done with the heart, everything that is done with love, is accomplished, is achieved. So if you do it with a lot of love, with a lot of heart, you will be able to feel the difference. Because we are light, and the light does not deceive, the light does not create obstacles, the light does not create difficulties, on the contrary, we are here to make everything easier, to show you how you have to protect yourself too. Because the moment you do all this, start hearing those words, put your hand on your heart and don't feel the same vibration, stop immediately. I'm not going to say that that one over there is not the being who is speaking, I'm just going to state that that message was contaminated, that that message was worked on, so that the energy of that being had another energy. Which is what happens. How many out there speak on your internet in our name? And we're not the ones talking, they just use our name with beautiful messages, with positive messages, but there, in that message, there is a deep subliminal energy, which can change the balance, can change your thoughts. And then that moment, which would be one of total surrender to an energy of light, ends up being a surrender to the energy of evil. So today I'm explaining how you can make this difference. And be sure, that every message we leave, no matter the channel, this is also important, even if its energy varies, we will always vibrate the same thing. So if you hear and feel my energy, through this channel that I am speaking in one way, if you hear my speaking through another channel, it will be the same thing, because I am the one speaking, no matter the channel variation. Do this exercise. Don't expect to feel it the first time and don't go around saying that you didn't feel anything, that everything here is a lie, that everything you hear is a lie. Be careful with your words, be careful with what you sow, be careful with your judgments. This is an exercise, in which you go little by little, learning to know. And I'll give you one more guideline, try to get to know a single energy first. I speak here today, then tomorrow someone else speaks, then you start to make a difference, it's very little time for you to learn. So for example, it's an example because each of you has a capacity, some will feel it right away, others will take a while, so listen to my energy at least 5 times. Then you start another being and each time it presents itself, seek its energy. Don't mix, because otherwise you will get confused. And I suggest you write down, Sananda, I had a quick shiver on my hand, Miguel was like lightning all over my hand, Maria was like water falling on my hand. These are examples. So each of us, you write it down, so that you don't forget the vibration you felt. You will do it 5 times, so write it down every 5 times, because you will be able to notice something else. It's not that the vibration is wrong. There's a little more left and you take note. This is an exercise that I am leaving to you, it is the hearing protection that you will have from now on, when you hear a message, when you receive a message. Do this exercise. Don't wait. I didn't feel anything, that's what I said. Be careful with judgment, try again. Aren't you? Isn't the judgment so great that you can't feel anything? Open your heart, vibrate only love. Do this exercise and the time will come when you will no longer need to place your hand on your heart, your entire body will vibrate with our energy. So it will be easy and simple for you to know who is speaking there, just by the energy, by the energetic signature. Just think about this, I no longer have a physical body, I am pure energy too now. How do I walk through the universe? Every place I arrive, do I wear a body to be recognized? Of course not, in the same way Miguel, everyone knows Miguel. I don't even need to comment on the size of his energy, it's nothing like mine, and everyone knows Miguel, because when he arrives there is an absurd, immense energy and no one is mistaken that he is the one arriving, because his signature is unique. Even Raphael, Gabriel, also when they arrive that have me to his power, each one has their signature and are recognized in this way. So there's the exercise, there is no proof, there are no tests, but be sure that each one of you who takes it will emerge victorious, because whoever is listening will be sure.